Hi, everybody. I hope you're doing great. This is Michel T Dallaire from Cybercare Academy, and it's the Cybercare Café of September 1st, 2024. I'm really happy to be with you today, and we're going to talk about the last article of our campaign about cyberbullying and cyberviolence, and it's called Cyberbullying and Cyberviolence Among Children, Understanding and Responding. And we're going to mostly talk about aggressors today. There's a lot to say about it. I made my article. I was kind of short in it. I could have write like over 60 pages, but you wouldn't have read it. So I decided, well, I'm gonna talk about the rest of the information at the cafe, and that's why it's here. So don't hesitate to say hi in the chat from YouTube or Twitch, no matter which one you're using. We're gonna need another 30 days and a few more followers on Facebook to be able to have the live feed on Facebook. And we still need 1,000 people follower on TikTok. And so we're going to have 4 platforms where the live is going to be streaming, and that's going to be awesome. So, yeah, I hope you're doing great. Just give me your comments, give me your questions in the chat. And even if you're listening to a replay and you still have questions, don't worry. Send them to me through the platforms where you're listening this video, and I'm gonna try to do my best to answer for you. I just want to remind everybody that I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist, or I don't have, it's not my business, and I don't pretend to be someone in this field. I'm just someone who talk about stuff, and I'm gonna direct you to the appropriate professional if you need it. But yeah, I just wanna put to light all that stuff and make sure like everybody find health in cybersecurity, and today specifically in cyberbullying and cyber violence. And I'm gonna mix that with bullying and violence because they are like closely related. So there's always gonna be an interaction between the two. So don't be surprised. Okay, so let's start this. Here we go. So I'm gonna go through the article and I'm gonna add stuff. And if you have any question, like I said, just put them in the chat or contact me on the platform. I'm gonna be glad to try to help you. Okay, so this week we're talking about the aggressors, mostly witnesses and victims that became aggressors also. So let's start about this stuff. Cyberbullying and cyberviolence are complex, and complex is the key word here. It's not black or white. There's all kind of shades of gray in between, and it's gonna you cannot put someone in a specific box. You know, you have to mix all that stuff to understand what's happening to a child that becomes an aggressor, and sometimes could come from family and stuff, and sometimes it could come from bad influences, and sometimes it could come because the person is a victim but is having trouble being heard, and some traumas that goes along. So I'm gonna talk about all that stuff. So that affect not only the victims but also the aggressors and bystanders. It's crucial to address these topics from multiple perspectives to better understand and prevent these destructive behaviors. I'm inviting you to follow us on our different platforms, to go back and read the articles or listen to them. We have podcasts, we have videos. We're on Facebook, Pinterest, Cast. we have TikTok, we have YouTube, so you can find us almost anywhere. Um, Child as aggressors. Cyberbullying among children can often be rooted in problems at home, not only, but a lot, such as family conflicts or lack of attention. What's happening sometimes? Um, it could come from fights between the parents and the children is not being heard into that, or is getting sick of hearing what's happening, and has no attention and has no help to process all these emotions. So that can go to become an aggressor to try to have some feeling of controls in their life. It can also come from lack of attention. Basically, just an example, but it's not the only one. But there's many of them. Um, for example, he's the first child, and there's other brothers and sisters, siblings that are coming along the way, and well, these are babies and they need attention. And sometimes the parents, when they see that one of their child is having, no, is more independent, well, then they give more attention to the baby, and sometimes they don't see the how would I say this? They don't see that their older child needs attention, and this lack of attention can be transferred to the to the children as becoming an aggressor. That happens. It's not the only reason, but that's some example. That's why you don't. It's really important not to. When you're trying to address the situation where your child is an aggressor, it's not to be punitive or to put your child in his bedroom and punish them. That's gonna help. They need professional help. They seek to make certain that you have to find a way to help them and not only punish them, because that can just worsen the problem. They try to seek to regain a sense of control or express their frustration through aggressive online behaviors, and not only online but in real life, because to have online material to cyberbullying or cyberviolence, sometimes it needs real violence to be filmed or to be posted online to go into on the aggression side. So that's why I was saying in the beginning of the of this podcast that the two of them are intertwined. So it's essential to recognize that even if a child seems fine at home, there may be subtle signs of distress, and that can manifest differently online. Sometimes you won't see it at home, and that's why educators and they most of the time are the first line of witness in the situation. I'm going to talk about it later, but it's really important to listen to them when they contact you and saying your child is having some problems, and not be in denial. Okay, so we're going to come back on this at some point. So there's another side of the story is where victims that becomes aggressors. Sometimes a child who have been a victim of cyberbullying or cyberviolence or bullying or violence in the past may become an aggressor themselves. This behavior is often a way for the child to release their sense of injustice in targeting younger or more vulnerable individuals. So what's this say is if they don't get help or they don't try to find help and we don't see the problem, they can become aggressors to try to get rid of that frustration, to get a sense of control in their life. And what's going to happen is sometimes you only see the aggression part of them, and you see them as aggressors when in fact they are victims that need help, and they're actions reflect as an aggression. So that's why it's really important to not uh, punish but help instead, because that's going to worsen the problem if the child maybe never thought to become an aggressor. He becomes so because of the situation of being a victim and not being listened to. And if you like punish them as aggressors, what's gonna happen is, what may happen is, they will consider themselves as aggressors, and it's gonna worsen the problem. And later on in their life, it's gonna be a big problem. So it's better to give them help, give them professional help, psychologists, or at least people at school who can help. And also, um, just make sure that it does not goes up to the authorities, because if your child is still a minor but is close to being an adult, he can be treated as an adult in court, and that can bring a lot of problems later on in his life, even if it's about work, school, and everything else. So that can affect everything. It's That's why I was saying it's not only black or white. There's all kind of things going in between, and not all cases are the same. It's different for every child, so you have to go and try to figure out what's going on with this one to be able to help him. So it's important for parents and educators to understand that this type of behavior can be a sign of unresolved trauma. Additionally, it's crucial to remember that a child might start bullying their own siblings or vulnerable children at home or school. So sometimes they try to be really nice at home, and so parents say, "Oh, it's impossible. My child is an aggressor. Is the best child ever." But they count on this reaction from you, so that protects them and give them more power as aggressors, because the parents are on their side. And I'm gonna come back on that subject. It's the fourth point, but the third point is bystanders who inadvertently participate. Being a witness and doing nothing, or even worse, share the things, or even comments on them. That if they comments to get likes and stuff like that, it's not cool, and it's not gonna help. They become doing that, so they become aggressors themselves. They become accomplice to the situation. So bystanders to cyberbullying also play a crucial role. Those who choose to do nothing, or film the incident, or share these videos online to gain likes, are also contributing to the spread of violence. These behaviors help normalize cyberbullying and empower the aggressors, and that's exactly what we don't want to happen. So therefore, it's crucial to educate your children and teenagers on the importance of reporting these acts rather than encouraging them or remaining passive. So the aggressors, what they want is what they want is to be acknowledged. And if they are in a situation where it's because they don't have this recognition or acknowledgement at home, or they're not being listened to, or not enough attention, they will try to get it as aggressors. And bystanders, they help fuel this aggression. And if we stop it, if we don't get the if the aggressors don't get this attention, then it's going to be harder for them to continue. I don't know if you see what I mean in there. So the fourth point is what to do as a parent or educator. Educators, like I was saying at the beginning, often play a key role in identifying and managing aggressive online behaviors. They are the one who most of the time see what's going on, and they're going to contact the parents. However, it's common for parents to be in denial for the reasons I was saying earlier, especially if they see no sign of it at home. So how can they sometimes believe it if the child is so nice at home but is so harsh somewhere else when the parents are not there. So it's crucial for parents to remain open to the possibility that their child could be involved in cyber violence, and that could even happen with siblings at home when the parents are not there. Let's say the older kid is the one who's guarding the child while the parents are out for shopping, for example. Then he can be aggressors to the siblings, and he can even force them to not talk about it to the parents, so nobody will ever know. And but there will be signs, but they're subtle. You have to find them and make sure you stay vigilant. Instead of denying, it's really important for parents to at least keep an open mind. Listen to the proofs, listen to what educators and professionals are saying, because they try to address the problem. They try to help you, to support you, and you have to help them support the efforts, even if it involves your own child. It's essential to ensure a safe environment for everyone. That's going to help your child, and that's going to help the child that is involved in these bullying and violence. So keep an open communication between parents, educators, and children. It's crucial because it's really hard to understand and address these complex is the key word, like I was saying, situations. Because sometimes, let's say the child was really good at hiding it, and then he's being discovered for doing it, and then the parents start to not being happy about it. If you don't keep open communication, what's gonna happen is gonna close on himself, and he can be even a worse aggressor, or a better aggressor, a better to hide it, and he's gonna stop talking, and he's gonna put himself in a shell, and that's what you don't want, because that's not gonna help. Yeah, that's how it goes. Well, it's a coffee. I'm gonna have a coffee. I don't know what you guys are taking. Hey, hello, how are you? Thank you for being here. It's really glad to see you. Like I was saying, don't hesitate to ask me questions if you have. And if you're listening to a replay of this video, just contact me on different platforms. I'm gonna be happy to answer. So that's it. Cyberbullying and cyberviolence among children requires constant attention and a proactive approach. As parents and educators, it's essential to understand the complex dynamics of these behaviors to better intervene and protect the children involved. And make sure, as a parent, you don't get involved. You don't go make yourself your own police, or try to fix things by yourself. Ask professionals, because you can worsen the situation, and your kid doesn't need you to be in prison. They need you to be there for them and to support them in this hard situation, even if it's an aggressor or victim aggressor or bystanders. And the more we're gonna talk about it, the more we're gonna be able to reduce the quantity of this, because in the past few years it's going bigger and bigger, and it's almost a war to know who's going to have the most quantity of likes and stuff like that. It's just going crazy, and we have to stop this. And as a whole, as a society, we can do this. We absolutely can. So this concludes a 3-part series on cyberbullying and cyberviolence. We're going to get back on other cybersecurity features and notions in the next few articles. I'm gonna come back sometimes on themes like that, on campaigns like that, when there are special events on certain dates and months or stuff like that. There are special dates during the year, and I may do some other stuff like I did in the past 3 weeks. So whether it's helping a victim, dealing with the aggressor, or educating bystanders, it's imperative to act in discernment and empathy. Together, we can create a safer and more respectful online environment for everyone. I don't see any questions, so I'm not gonna take much of your time. Uh, I don't mind taking more time in the cafe when you guys have questions and stuff you want to talk about. So don't worry about this, but I'm trying to stay between 20 and 30 minutes for the cafe. It could be longer if you wish to. So I'm here for you guys, and please go get help if you need. If your child needs help, uh, it's really important to fix this so later on in their lives they don't have other problems or traumas that just comes back when they don't expect them, like they can it can be up to, I don't know, 40, 30, 40 years later, and it's going to come back. So it needs to be fixed and addressed as soon as possible. So yeah, I'm Michel T Dallaire from CyberCare Academy. You see the address at the bottom of this video. Don't hesitate to share. We need more followers. We need more people to talk about this. It's really important. So thank you very much for listening. And I love y'all. And I hope that we can make this world better. See you next week. Toodles.